Last night I was able to see the new Pixar film Lightyear with my entire family, so let's talk about it. So if you don't know what the movie Lightyear is the movie inside of the movie Toy Story, which Andy went to go see, which made him love the Buzz Lightyear character and want to get the action figure. But does the movie work? That's what we're gonna talk about. But first, this video is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is a massive adventure game with millions of champion combinations, campaigns to defeat, and bosses to destroy. It's a top quality game right there in your pocket. Use my QR code or links below to download Raid for yourself to your mobile phone or PC. The game is filled with amazing champions like Calivax of the Knights Revenant. Liam, who's your favorite champion? Wait a minute. When did he get here?
My favorite champion is Crusader.
Our highest rated character is Galyn. What makes him awesome?
He has the special ability to make lava appear under every single one of his opponents.
Awesome. Raid's currently running a special Daliana Chase event where new and existing players can get their hands on the amazing new legendary champion, Daliana, one of the strongest champions in the entire game. All you have to do is log in and play Raid for 7 days between now and July 28th, and you'll get Daliana for free. That's it. But that's not all you get if you're a new player. If you hit the link down below in the description, you get a free champion, Verigis, with 200,000 silver, 1 XP boost, 1 energy refill, 1 ancient shard, so you can summon an awesome champion as soon as you get in game. But you'll only find those rewards in your inbox for the next 30 days. Once you're in game, you can find me under the username KirkNeverDied. Use the link down below in the description. It's that easy, and let's get started talking about the good. And right off the bat, I just think this is a very interesting and clever way to spin off a franchise. The Toy Story series is one of the most beloved and best reviewed movie franchises of all time, and the entire series is built upon the idea that Andy went to go see a movie that made him love a character that made him want a toy that led to this whole journey with Buzz and Woody. But us as the audience have never seen that movie before. So there's like this lingering little idea built into the franchise that you can do something very different with it and explore Buzz Lightyear in an all new way as to who was the character that Andy fell in love with that made him want to play with the toy, not the adventures of the toy that we have seen. So I just love that concept. It's just such a fun and interesting way to do something new with the character that we've spent a lot of time with over the last nearly 30 years. And somewhat along those same lines, this is very much a Buzz Lightyear character study about kind of understanding what makes him tick, what motivates him, how some of his best attributes are also his biggest flaws at the exact same time. And so this movie really studies what makes him tick and drives who he is. And despite the fact that we spent a ton of time with Buzz Lightyear, the toy, now we get to know Buzz Lightyear, the movie character, though our toy character is also a movie character, so it's kind of confusing in that regard. And by this point in time, it almost goes without saying with Pixar films, but the animation here is simply stellar. It is gorgeous. I saw the movie in IMAX, and that is a fantastic way to watch this film. The entire movie is in the IMAX ratio, and so when you go to these planets, into space, doing space travel, into spaceships, you have this immersive image that goes from the ceiling all the way down to the floor, and Pixar knows how to do all of that properly and just take you into this world and have amazing, amazing visuals. Next thing you gotta talk about here is that this is a Pixar sci-fi adventure that's pulling from all the best stuff. So it feels a little bit like Pixar doing a greatest hits reel of sci-fi. And as someone that loves sci-fi, it touches on all the stuff that I like, whether space combat, laser battles, robots, aliens, and a bunch of other stuff that I don't want to go into for spoiler reasons, but you get Pixar's take and homage to all the sci-fi classics with their polish, with their shine, and with their touch. Also, it's a movie that's consistently funny from beginning to end. There's just like a series of little gags to where even where the story can be a little bit mature at times, it has the humor that will keep the kids attached and paying attention throughout the entire runtime of the film. Socks, the robot, steals the whole movie. He's so charming. He's so funny. He always gets a laugh. All of it lands. This is probably going to be a very popular toy come this upcoming December, but adults, kids are going to love Socks. But all the side characters, they get their little moments. I think they're all outshined by the cat, but they get some jokes in as well. And finally, as this is a Pixar film, you get all the Pixar feels from this movie. It has all the big emotions that you'd expect. It's very much a thematically rich film about Buzz Lightyear on this journey, trying to live with mistakes and exploring him as a character, as we discussed before, and diving into all the ways that the thing that makes him so good at being a space ranger has consequences for him as well, and he has to grow, learn, and change throughout it. And it kind of incorporates that all throughout the entire story, and it finds ways to have these little moments that pack a big emotional punch. Like there's a sequence in it, 60-70% of the way through the movie involving a hologram that's just very emotional, that the people behind us started bawling up a little bit. And it's that classic Pixar touch where they just know how to tug at your heartstrings. And in the case of this movie, it is a character study about Buzz Lightyear, the one in the movie that's a fascinating way to do something a little bit different. And so if you like sci-fi, if you like Pixar, there's a lot to enjoy about this movie. There's some problems too, so let's move on to the mixed aspects of the film. And the big thing that comes to mind here is that this movie feels like it's the sequel to the movie that I expected this movie to be. What I mean by that is I'm not sure that I think that Andy would have loved this movie. I feel like this is the sequel to the movie that Andy would have loved. This movie's a bit more reflective, it's a bit more mature in where Buzz Lightyear is at, and it seems like Andy would have loved the more rock and roll, fast-paced movie, and this feels like the third movie in a trilogy of films. To put it a different way, this is a little bit more Dark Knight Rises than Batman Begins or The Dark Knight. And I think that comparison will make sense once you watch the movie, that it's not the story of him becoming the Space Ranger or the story of him in his prime as the Space Ranger. It's a little bit more reflective and at a different phase in his career. And that doesn't make it bad. It just makes it different, and it doesn't deliver some of the things that you would expect from a Buzz Lightyear movie. And it doesn't really feel like the movie that I think Andy would have loved. It's something that maybe I, as a 40-year-old man, might connect with a little bit more, but it just felt a bit strange, the story that they decided to tell, as well as the character arc that they gave Buzz Lightyear. It feels like a sequel, third film in a trilogy, rather than the one that Andy would have loved. Another thing to know here, and this isn't a good or bad thing, but there is a mid-credit sequence and 2 post-credit sequences. The mid-credit sequence is just a quick little joke. The first post-credit sequence is another cute little joke. Both of them will put a smile on your face, but they're just quick little jokes that follow up something that happened earlier in the film. And then there is a third one at the very, very end, after they've done all the logos and stuff, that's a tease of a plot point. And so none of them are mind-blowing revelations, just a couple of quick little jokes and one quick little tease of where something is at on a plot level. And the big thing here is that the movie just feels a little bit too safe and familiar. And I think some of that's just kind of baked into the Buzz Lightyear cake. He was designed to feel kind of like a toy that you already had. He was designed to feel like some other Space Ranger that you've seen in something else. So, the beginning of Toy Story 2 very clearly parodies 2001: A Space Odyssey and then does a parody of the Empire Strikes Back plot twist.
I'll never give in. You killed my father.
No, Buzz. I am your father.
It was overtly borrowing from something else. So inherently, the Buzz Lightyear character is designed to be a bit derivative. So to be true to what he's always been in the established lore, the story itself just feels a little bit familiar. And some of those homages are nice and fun. It makes it very consumable. I like the genre, so this was just kind of a fun ride to go on. But it felt a little bit too familiar, a little bit too safe, and I think it kind of had to be true to the source material. But the thing that really bugged me about the film is that I did not like where they went with the villain. In particular, in the back half of the film, I just don't think it worked. And I don't think I ever would have liked the direction that they took things, but the character was underdeveloped and underexplored. So as soon as they explain everything that's been going on and why things are happening, it raised way more questions and it didn't really hold together. It asked me to make too big of a leap in logic, in the character's motivation, rationale, and how things played out. And so conceptually, I don't like what they did with it. And beyond that, I don't think the execution was fleshed out enough to earn the plot point, to earn the villain that they tried to create here. And so that kind of hurt the movie a good bit for me, because you kind of moved that point in time where all the questions are answered and I went, ooh, I don't like this and I don't like the execution of it. And that really hurt the film. Like I said, it's still a fun sci-fi film, very easy to digest, very easy to consume, but a little bit familiar and has a big villain problem for me. The fun thing about this press screening is they let us bring the whole family to it. That means my kids can share their thoughts on the movie as well. Chloe, what did you think about Lightyear?
I liked it, and I liked it because it was like a movie about a toy in a different movie coming into real life as if he were real. It was fun, it was exciting. Sometimes it was scary, but it was mostly like funny. It's a good movie to show everybody. Like there's a little bit for every kind of person.
Karis, did you like Lightyear?
Yes. Daddy. Daddy.
Good night, Buzz.
Karis, was it a lot of fun last night?
Yes.
Yeah. Real quick before I give you my final thoughts, be sure to join me down below in the comment section. Let me know if you've seen it, what did you think about it? And if you haven't seen it yet, what is your excitement level for the movie? Also, I will be updating my Pixar ranking this weekend, so that should be a lot of fun. Be sure to come back for it. In the end, it's a solid Pixar sci-fi film that finds a clever way to spin off the Buzz Lightyear character, do a bit of a character study about him, and delivers consistent laughs, especially from Socks. But it's a little bit too safe, a bit too familiar, and has a villain problem that stops it from soaring to the heights of the rest of the Toy Story franchise. Overall, it's a B on the entertainment scale, a 7.5, and definitely watch this one with your whole family. If you see it in the theater, see it on the biggest screen possible. Be sure to come back this weekend to see my updated Pixar ranking. Remember to download Raid Shadow Legend at that link down below in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and keep talking movies too much.